The cause exists in and through the effect, but the effect does not exist in the cause. Because of this, the causality of cause is lost. Now, this is something which is directly coming from Aparoksha Anubhuti, which is a work of Adi Shankaracharya. Now, of course, we will understand what this statement actually means, and we will understand how Vedanta explains this time-space reality as an illusion. This will happen by the end of this video. But what is time? Does it actually exist? If there is no time, then what is that we are experiencing? These are the questions which are common to all of us. In this video, let us explore the teachings of Vedanta in order to understand the nature of this existence and the nature of time itself. To begin, let us travel back in time to the era of Isaac Newton, the physicist who laid the foundations of classical mechanics. In Newton's worldview, time and space were considered absolute and independent entities. Time flowed uniformly and independently of anything happening within it, while space provided an immutable backdrop against which objects moved. This Newtonian framework worked well for describing the motions of everyday objects, but had its limitations when it came to understanding the nature of universe on larger scales. Then came Albert Einstein, the genius who revolutionized our understanding of time and space with his theory of relativity. Einstein proposed that time and space are not rigid and separate, but rather intertwined in a fourth-dimensional fabric known as space-time. According to his special theory of relativity, the flow of time is not constant but can vary depending on the relative motion of the observers. Time dilation, a fascinating concept, suggests that time slows down for objects in motion compared to those at rest. For example, let us assume a man is on a train which is moving at a certain speed, and at the same time there is another man who is standing on the ground observing that train moving. Now, what Einstein said and actually proved was that the time flows differently for the person in train versus the person who is observing standing outside the train. This is a very common concept now but was a radical theory then. Moreover, Einstein's general theory of relativity expanded on this idea by introducing the concept of gravitational time dilation. In this theory, he postulated that the curvature of space-time is influenced by the presence of mass and energy. Massive objects such as planets or stars can create gravitational fields that bend the fabric of space-time, affecting the passage of time. This groundbreaking insight demonstrated that time and space are not rigid and absolute, like Newton said, but can be influenced by the distribution of matter and the presence of gravity. Now let's fast forward to the mind-bending realm of quantum physics, where our understanding of time and space takes an even more radical turn. In the quantum world, particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously and can be entangled across vast distances. The concept of superposition allows particles to occupy a range of positions or have various properties until observed, challenging the notion of a single well-defined reality. Additionally, the famous uncertainty principle proposed by Heisenberg states that there is a fundamental limit to how precisely we can measure both the position and momentum of a particle. This principle suggests that the very act of observation affects the observed object, blurring the boundary between the observer and the observed. It raises profound questions about the nature of reality and the role of consciousness in shaping our perceptions. In the quantum realm, the concept of space-time becomes even more mysterious. So basically, what we can conclude from these scientific advancements is that time and space are just concepts, and time and space do not have any objective, independent existence of their own. Now we started with a verse from Adi Shankaracharya, but later we went on to discuss different theories and different scientists and different scientific principles. Why are we looking at science now? If you are wondering why are we discussing quantum physics with respect to Vedanta, here is the conclusion. What Adi Shankaracharya said hundreds of years ago and what our Vedic teachings said thousands of years ago is that time and space is a concept, and time and space do not have any objective independent existence of their own. They derive their existence from consciousness. This was the teaching that came from Vedas and Upanishads thousands of years ago, and quantum physics and modern science is coming to these conclusions right now, or it will come to this in the future. Now coming to Adi Shankaracharya's words, what did he mean by saying that the cause exists in the effect but the effect does not exist in the cause? Here he is saying that consciousness is the cause of everything, and consciousness pervades everything and influences everything. But all the objects of consciousness do not influence consciousness itself, and therefore the causality of the cause is lost, which means that nothing is truly created in this existence. Consciousness alone was, consciousness alone is. Consciousness is the fundamental reality. This is what Adi Shankaracharya is pointing at. And there is no separate universe that has been created apart from consciousness, and instead everything is just a projection in consciousness. Just like how we dream different dreams and we assume the position of a dreamer within the dream, and we project different circumstances and events and objects within the dream, everything that we can see around us in this world is just a projection in consciousness, and it's just like a dream, and it does not have any absolute reality. This was what Adi Shankaracharya was talking about, and it is fascinating to see that quantum physics comes to the same conclusions, that the conscious observer is somehow tied up with the creation or this universe. And Shankaracharya explains the nature of existence in Aparokshanubhuti with this simple example. Imagine a pot which is made up of clay, and imagine the clay with which the pot is created. Now, what Shankaracharya says is that there is nothing called a pot apart from the clay. The pot is just a name and a form. The pot is clay in and through. If we remove the clay, there is nothing called the pot. So the entire existence of the pot is derived from the clay. And apart from the clay, there is nothing called the pot. So this is how we can understand the nature of existence as per Vedanta and as per Shankaracharya. This entire universe is consciousness. It is all made of the single substance called consciousness, although it is not a substance. Now, if you remove consciousness, there is nothing called the universe. And this is a very profound conclusion. And I think quantum physics and modern science is slowly coming to this conclusion, although we are not there yet. I hope this video was valuable to you. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this, and I'll see you on the next video.